Delaware in the building. Y'all ain't ready for the Delaware takeover. Y'all not ready for this unique style and creativity that everybody in the world wants to see. Nas and Jay is bringing it, and everything they bring got that Delaware swag.
Hey everybody.
Hey everybody. Welcome back. Sitting in front of you are two of the most dynamic hosts you've ever met. We sing, we have danced, we know how to do things on the fly, we're stylish, we're hilarious.
I mean, I gotta be honest.
I'm not done.
Yeah.
We're good looking, we're smart, the kids love us. What am I missing?
So many things. We could do a whole show about how fantastic we are.
We can have you be annoyed by us and also love us all at the same time.
And disgusted. I can disgust you too very quickly.
We're not going to do that.
But we can. We can.
I won't disgust you.
I will.
I'm not
at
like
some point
that.
in time.
All right.
But I should echo those sentiments. And in as much as I always make sure that I stay humble, I feel very confident in saying that I'm very confident in saying that at this point, I feel comfortable enough that if you threw us more or less anywhere to host something, that we could do a great job. I'll leave it there.
I'm just saying, we could host a funeral. We'd kill them. We'd be knocking them dead.
No.
I'm sorry.
I'm not there yet.
You're not
I need to warm up.
You're okay.
Can we do a temperature check at least first before we... Temperature.
At least we won't leave you freezing.
I didn't even get to say who I am, but that's who we are. Hey, temperature check.
We got to do the welcome.
We don't.
Welcome to your evening sip of local news, what's happening, and
real world buzz.
I am Naja Nicole, your cultural programs coordinator at the Delaware Art Museum, 2025 Individual Artist Fellow, badass mama, and the best co-host of the Naja and Jay Show.
The only part that's just that last part is debatable. And my name is J Street Jr. Some people call me JJ.
Jay Bird.
Jay Bird, for sure. I'm a singer-songwriter, photographer, youth advocate, and co-host of the Naja and Jay Show.
I feel like when you say that, you should pop lock. I am the.
Why should I pop lock?
I don't know. I just was feeling it. Because your chest puffs up when you do it. Anytime he talks about who he is, he naturally just kind of like his chest starts to inflate a little bit. So I feel like
really
you should just start.
Just my head, just boom, big head. So yeah, my ego.
Temperature check. How are you feeling, Jay? How are you holding up in this world of chaos and beauty?
Yeah, I'm pretty good right now. I'm a little sleepy. Just because of normal stuff, nothing outside of the ordinary.
Okay.
I actually have a little bit of relief right now because the past 2 weeks in particular were just really, really busy. Mm-hmm. The last big hump for me to get over was doing Dancing with the Stars Saturday night.
Yeah.
And I still have stuff to do, but it's not as jam-packed with stuff just all day long.
Okay.
So I can take a sort of breather in a way and get back to my routine. I'm excited to get back to some of my routine.
Okay.
But I'm pretty cool right now. I'm sleepy, maybe a little cranky, but I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
How about you?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
So I am still on a high from Dancing with the Stars.
Good.
A little stressed, but nothing overwhelming. And I have started my process of healing fully. For those who don't know, I have been struggling with singing because of my hysterectomy last year. And I started this week with being very intentional about working out, like slowly getting into working out more so that I could not only build up my stamina, but also work the muscles that I utilize to sing so that I can get back on the stage fully. And so far I've been consistent and I'm proud. And so, yep. And so I'm feeling good. But watch out, because let me tell you something. The summer ain't gonna be ready for me. They're not gonna be ready.
And
no, you didn't. Just you're supposed to be like, yeah.
And also, I think it's important to say, I know I'm like the obnoxious fit guy in a lot of ways, and I'm fine with that. But for musicians and singers in particular, it's very helpful for your body to be physically strong.
Yeah.
You obviously, if you sing a lot, you will gain the strength to sing.
Right.
But if you have additional physical strength in your overall body, it just gives you more stamina and literally more support. So for any singers, and actually any people who vocalize, rappers, people who
storytellers,
you need all of that core support to properly manage your vocal cords.
Yeah, public speakers, the people who do
all
like
of those
the
things.
motivational stuff.
I just a quick reminder. I don't know why I went here, but like your vocal cords are actual muscles, and you should treat them accordingly. And that's
and
how
your
you should work out.
diaphragm and your pelvic floor muscles and all the things, and your lungs, and
So keep it going.
All right, flowers. Mm-hmm. We have flowers.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Flowers.
Look at them flowers.
Flowers. I'm really going to have to take one of my flower pictures and add that to this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you should. Oh my gosh. Why haven't we thought of that? What's wrong with us?
Because we got too much to do.
We got to get it together.
Right.
One day we're going to have $1 million and we're going to be able to do everything. Mm-hmm. Okay. Flowers to, of course, the Wilmington Library. This past weekend, we had the honor and privilege of hosting the Dancing with the Delaware Stars. It was amazing.
Should we go into that right now and I'll pull up some pictures?
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely.
Cool.
It was fabulous. It was at the Grand Opera House and the Baby Grand. I'm talking cocktails. I'm talking hors d'oeuvres. I'm talking people dressed to the nines, baby. I'm talking there was money in that room. Support. Community leaders. Okay? It was phenomenal. And
shout out to Amir and what's the other guy? Monster Photo, yes. Monster Photo for these images.
That's his name on Instagram. I'm gonna find his real name.
Yeah. For these images that are on the screen.
Yes. It was amazing. Me and Jay did 3 outfit changes, which was darn near almost impossible for him.
No, it was actually really easy for me because I just had to switch jackets for the most part.
Well, you cared.
No, and
that's the thing. Getting you to care is what. But it was so much fun.
It was.
It was so much fun. And flowers to Jamar for everything he's done for the library in the community and involving the community. Flowers to Carl, flowers to Brandy, to everyone who was involved. Flowers to Shaishika, the director of the Christina Cultural Arts Center. All of the choreographers, the dancers who dedicated their time and efforts and faced fears.
They did.
They faced fear. What I need people to understand is, yes, it is a great event for a great cause. But one of the big rewards that people have to take away from this, specifically the dancers, is that a lot of these people don't do this. They don't. Number one, they're not big on.
I don't think anybody who got on the stage was an actual dancer. Number one,
right. But then also, there are a lot of people who like to do things behind the scenes and not get tons of recognition, which is fine. But in this, you are literally in the spotlight. So not only did you do something you don't normally do, but you stood up and you did a great job.
Yeah.
So flowers to all of you.
And it's a little easier from our end because we are public people and we're used to being on the stage. Right. So for the people who aren't used to being in that setting, it's definitely a stretch for them. And I can empathize for sure.
Yeah.
I think one point that needs to be made is that it's a really well run function.
Yes.
And it's well thought out, well
Yes.
planned out. We
Absolutely.
stayed in the loop. We even had like a script that was given to us that we were able to kind of play with. But it really was. It's one of those events that shows our city in its best light.
Yeah.
And that's from my end why it's an honor to be involved, because it's run well, and we've said it over and over, but what the Wilmington Public Library doing really is unprecedented.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in their meetings, their planning meetings, because I've been a part of a lot of huge productions. Like one of the biggest ones that I've ever been a part of is the Clifford Brown Jazz Festival. There are so many moving parts, right? And I was just I had my portion, but to be the person that oversees all of it is a whole different thing. And then from what I know, the library is even smaller than the team that does the Clifford Brown Jazz Festival. So just the masterminding behind all of this, like,
and the organization.
Yeah, I don't think people think about that. Like, people complain in the comments, people get upset because they can't get in, or they're like, you should have this or you should have that. Can y'all think about the fact that there are like 5 people who run this entire organization from top to bottom, and every single thing is quality? That's a big thing.
Yeah. What was the brother who the team that won?
Yeah.
What's his name? He runs the Go Juice Center off the riverfront.
Oh, child, why you do this to me?
And Tierra Fair is his fiance, I believe. Is that right?
Yes.
What's the brother's name? Thank you. Because we want to
Kenny.
congratulate. Yes, they had a really cool performance, and honestly, I mean, I'm not, some dance expert, but I've never seen anything like what they did.
Yeah.
He incorporated his martial art and sort of, I don't want to misspeak, but it was a combination of his martial art and African dance, and almost like a militant sort of spin to it. It definitely had a lot of it. It felt like it could have been a scene in the next Black Panther movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it was really cool. Now, I always got to keep it a bean. You know what I'm saying? It was fantastic. My favorite were the Deadweilers. I don't care what y'all say. You be mad at me. I understand why that group won. It was really interesting. Yes. But it was the Deadweilers had so much fun. They broke it down with like a hip hop thing at first, like that boom bap, old school hip hop, and then they brought it into like the salsa pintame, and then they went back to more of like not the older, older from most people's perspective at this point, but then they went to like some of the late 90s, early 2000s hip hop.
Okay.
And it was great. It was really fun. I didn't think that they could move like they did. Not that, I'm saying they look old, but I'm saying I was really impressed with how well both of them moved, and it was really cool and it was super fun. And yeah, I had to make sure I said that because it was dope.
It was a great time.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite parts was when we were doing the sponsors and we had everybody shine their flashlights up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my! And Amir did get photos of that.
Okay, good.
And it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I'm gonna have to find that photo on the.
Is it on the website?
It's on the Wilmington Library Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Gorgeous, like all of those lights. Just it just was. It looked like stars, literally.
Yeah.
It was just a great time, and we were just really.
The food
excited.
was good.
Yes, that salmon.
The salmon was good, and like it's hard. Like depending on where I know it depends on where you go either way, but it's hard to find salmon that makes you like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? Like it makes you get that. Give a certain response.
Justin from Oath 84.
The salmon was knocking, and of course he had the lamb lollipops. I love those.
Yes.
So overall, everything was well put together.
It was great. I'm proud of everybody for sticking through it and getting it done. And
you have diverse.
And that's the thing. Like, I also really want people to understand that. I know that there are a lot of different personalities in Wilmington. I know that there are a lot of different organizations, and people feel how they feel about people and things, whatever. But everybody in Wilmington pretty much was in that room. Everybody. supporting the cause.
Yeah.
And that's what can make change. And I really want people to like think about that. Like it can be done. It can be done.
Absolutely.
It was done.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos, flowers, love to the Wilmington Library and the team. And thank you again for having us.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. What else is going on?
A lot.
All right. We got a lot going on. So.
Not a whole lot, but we got more.
Well, let me give you something good.
Yeah. That was good, but yeah.
Yes. Before we get into the stuff. So, did you put up local news?
Not yet. Are we there yet?
Yes, we're there.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Broadway in Wilmington announces new season featuring fan favorites. So the Playhouse on Rodney Square has announced its 2025-2026 Broadway in Wilmington season. So they will have The Book of Mormon, Kinky Boots, Meredith Wilson's The Music Man, and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay, cool.
I love that movie. I didn't even know it was a play.
I didn't know it was a play either.
I knew about Kinky Boots. So, and I've heard of The Music Man, but I might have to go to this. I didn't. So funny enough, this is really sad. I thought the Playhouse was the Grand Opera House.
That's not the worst thing ever.
It's not.
I get it.
But I was like, when I saw this article, I was like, isn't it the same?
Right.
So if you're interested, go to the Playhouse on Rodney Square's website and look through their season and get you some tickets, honey, and go out and have a good time, get a drink, and get cute, get some food.
Get some culture.
Get some culture, baby. Get some culture. So, yeah. All right. You want to show them the video?
Yeah, we're going to preface it.
Warning, if there are kids watching this, or if you watch this later, don't watch this in front of kids. Yeah,
even though it's kids doing it.
I know.
And there is profanity. So, and we might not even watch the whole thing.
Turn it down.
Yeah. We might not even play the whole thing, but you'll get the point. And we will talk about it after we watch this.
Yo, man, y'all got chill. No, man, chill the fuck out. Y'all bugging, yo. Yo.
Because it just popped up.
Yeah, okay. What are you doing?
Wait.
Who is that, his mom? Is that his mom?
Beauty kid. Oh, don't touch my phone. Don't touch my phone. Don't touch
You
my
know
phone.
what? Your
Back
mom gonna get a hold of you.
I'm not doing nothing until you get the fuck out of my face.
Oh, shit.
Yo, police!
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Come in! Yo, come in! Come in! Motherfucker, you better be glad,
He's not
motherfucker.
worried about shit.
You better be glad. I swear
So-
to God.
I feel like that's enough. And obviously it's concerning.
Very.
And do you want to speak on it first? I mean, there's a lot to be said.
So I'm gonna be honest. I lived in the suburbs growing up. My parents made sure that we lived in a very safe neighborhood. They tried to shield us as much as possible from behaviors like this and things that I see on a regular basis in Wilmington and in Philly. Seeing things like this always blow my mind because I personally never understood how a child could be like that when they have a parent. And then then thinking that, I hear this little boy in the video calling his mother to tell her what's going on, and she can hear everything that's happening. And not once did you hear her or his reaction to her saying something about him be respectful, call for help. Where are you? I'm going to come get you. And then to hear the other little boy who is rolling up, cussing people out. I want to know what time this was. Why aren't you in school? Where did you get the drugs from? And the other thing is how rough those kids seem. There was like no innocence at all.
And that tells
in
you
there.
everything you need to know.
And that just, it blows my mind because I hurt for those. My heart hurts so much for those kids, but I also have so much hurt in my heart for their parents, because obviously you weren't raised the way that you should have been raised for you to then raise a child that ends up like this. And this is just something that keeps happening. It just keeps happening. And
well, that what you speak on is the fundamental problem. And I don't know what the most politically correct way to phrase it is, but that circle is really, really hard to break, because
it's vicious.
It's vicious, and it's one of the worst parts, if not the worst part of America, is how difficult it is for that dynamic to be broken and changed. And so fundamentally, what you have to understand, and I've worked with children for my entire adult life, and I have always stood by the almost scientific rule that almost all of my kids who behave poorly are coming from difficult homes. And children don't just end up being disrespectful and talking like that to people.
Yeah.
That child, who is still a child, was allowed to be that way and wasn't molded properly. And if you have a parent who parents that way, my next question is, what happened to that
What
parent?
happened to them?
And then you go back and you don't know where it started and where it, where it began. But that is fundamentally how that child ended up that way. But here's the other parts to that video that I think are really important to understand.
Yeah.
Number one, the man in the video who understood that it was wrong and was like, yo, chill, chill, chill.
Right.
He didn't do anything wrong. But
that's debatable.
It's debatable, but the thing is, you don't know if these little boys are going to shoot you or not.
That part.
And that, he might have been, he may have been watching himself justifiably. You don't know at this point. You really don't.
And
let me continue real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And so on one hand, my instinct is to know how I react to children, but I'm in a school setting most of the time. But my instinct is to jump in and not yell at him, because he's probably been yelled at all his life and screamed at all his life.
Right.
But it's to be like, but it's to literally get on their physical level, like kneel down and be like, my man, like, why are you talking this way? Like, what are you doing? That's one. Number two, the woman who tried to grab his phone, her intentions were actually right. Like, yo, you're not talking to me. Let me talk to your mom.
Mm-hmm.
But
when she came back with the knife,
and when she called the cops, knowing how the current police treat young Black kids in the city and young minorities in the city, you're putting everyone in danger at that point by doing that.
It was a complete chaotic mess.
And for the cop to keep moving is another concern, because in an ideal situation, the cop pulls over, actually. The woman flat in an ideal situation in my brain, there's a lot of different ways it could play out. But if the woman had said like, hey, yo, this little boy is way disrespectful. Excuse me, police officer, can you talk to this young man? The police officer pulls over, and we get that Hollywood image of the cop that should be like, young man, we don't talk this way to adults. What are you doing? I'm going to call your mom. I'm going to take your phone and take you to your mom, and we're going to have a discussion about this. Not that you're in jail, not that you're going to get locked up and charged, but this isn't how young people are supposed to act in this city. And I'm here to protect you, and also, make sure that everyone is in a safe environment.
Yep.
And you can't talk that way to anybody. Especially someone who's older. It's fundamentally not how society is supposed to work.
Yeah.
So all of those moving parts failed.
One of the things I was thinking about is, what would I do if I was there?
Yeah, and it's hard to say.
I'll be completely honest with you. I would have said nothing. You want to know why?
It's dangerous.
Exactly, because I have been to the park with my kids and I have said things to girls. They're usually like, I remember this one time specifically, there were a bunch of girls. They had to have been between 12 and 15, right? But then again, you don't know these days
Yeah.
because these girls be big.
Yeah.
Child, they was bigger than me. That's all I know. But
Yeah.
they sounded young. And they were cussing up a storm. I mean, just nasty. And my babies were like 3, 4. And Journey at the time was maybe 8, 9. And I'm like, I want my kids to have a good experience at the park. I don't want to have to leave because y'all are being trifling. So I said something to them and they started to cuss me out.
Mhm.
And it was a bunch of them. And all I kept
they will
thinking
fight.
was, I need to leave now
Yep.
because they're going to try and fight me. And who's going to be here for my children? It's like 8 of them, 1 of me, and 3 kids.
Yeah.
And the sad part is they learned this from someone.
Or
there's someone is not stopping them when they see that behavior.
Yes.
Like, let me tell you something. When Journey roll her eyes, or she get a little snippy, or she say something with a little tone, I am quick to get in her face. Like, what did you say?
Yeah.
What do you say? I'm sorry. Do you have an attitude? You got a problem with something that I said? Like, I'm very quick to get with her about it, because what I don't want is her walking out into the streets and being disrespectful to her teachers, being disrespectful to somebody at church, being disrespectful to anybody. Now, there's a difference between teaching your children to stand up for themselves and not allowing people to disrespect them
It's
or
totally
abuse
different.
them, but it's different.
Wildly different.
It's a shame because you can tell those kids have seen a lot.
And the question that I have is like, one of the questions or the thoughts, I guess, is like, there's no way that child is on a path to greatness.
Listen.
And the interventions that would be required to change what's that obvious path is
you have to get out of his environment.
It's very difficult, and it's what I kind of work with on a regular basis, quite frankly, and it's an extremely difficult problem to solve. A lot of people have their boots on the ground trying to solve it to the best of their ability, and money gets thrown at the problem. But it's a real problem in our community, and it's concerning because that is a great point. Even me, like in a school setting, in a school environment, I'm jumping on you immediately.
Right.
There's no question that I'm jumping on that. But when you are out in the community, things have changed dramatically. You know, when I started working as a summer youth worker when I was 19, I was a little light-skinned boy with a car from the good part from a good block, you know, on Chestnut Street, and I could walk all through the projects, walk through any part of the city I wanted to, and I had no concerns about getting shot. Maybe a little bit of worried about getting jumped, maybe, you know, but no real worry. And that has changed dramatically. I literally used to just walk through Riverside. You know what I'm saying? Like for a bunch of different reasons. And I never had any problems. I had no beef with anybody and I wouldn't do anything stupid. You know what I'm saying? And it is completely different now. You know, I could beat most of them kids up, but them kids are shooting.
Right.
And it doesn't matter. And they'll jump me. And I'm only but so big and I'm pretty good in my size, like surprisingly, but I'm not Superman. You know what I'm saying? And I got to come home to my babies. And it's a real problem. And I don't even have an immediate solution for how that situation could have been handled better.
I don't think there's an
the one
solution.
thing that I wish, and this is kind of not weird, but in as much as I have a certain disdain for law enforcement, I feel like one of the potential saving graces in that situation could have been the officer pulling over and stopping them and having a real conversation without putting them in handcuffs and making them feel like they're going to jail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's where, honestly, our law enforcement could be extremely helpful because you
scared straight.
They are armed. They are protected. They are capable of using physical force. They are capable of getting back up quickly. And it's a situation where imagine if the officer who jumped out of that Suburban was a kid or an adult who grew up in Wilmington, you know, down bottom, and knows the city and knows what the environment is. Now we have a teachable moment, you know what I'm saying, versus a conflict. And that's one place where law enforcement actually could be tremendously helpful.
But you know what I realized recently? There are a lot of people who say that there should be men who have made it out coming back to inspire these young boys. But what I've learned over the last couple of years being out and about and getting to know people is that there are these grown men that got out are still the same scamming, lying.
Well, no,
there
go ahead.
There are a lot who then attempt to inspire, but when your heart is not in the right place, when you're not doing the right things behind closed doors, but putting a show on for other people, you're not inspiring anybody to be better because everyone can see right through it.
Well, that's part of it, but I know several people who have made it out the hood.
I'm not talking about them.
Oh, well, I'm saying that a lot of people who've made it out don't come back because it's too dangerous.
Oh, I'm not talking about them neither. I'm talking about the ones who could possibly come back, who don't because they're still out there doing trifling mess. That's another issue that we have. It's like people have not grown out of it. They just got older and moved. It's
a really, really difficult problem to solve. Yes.
But what I will say is I have been in the presence of young ones like that who have held other kids accountable for being trifling in front of me and my children.
Okay, great.
And when that happens, I make sure that they know that what they're doing is a good job and that they have potential to be something better.
Well, I will say this, and you make a great point, is that right now I'm hearing Jay Joseph in my head because his response always, that child need to have his ass beat. And I get it. And I get it. I really do get that.
Well, he friends with my dad.
And I understand that dynamic. But I will also say that because a lot of those kids are always in a state of confrontation, and are always getting screamed at to no with no backing in terms of like moral, sort of backing behind it.
Coming at them aggressively ain't gonna do nothing.
It has always, for me at least, been better to approach it gently.
Yeah.
And to not scream. And sometimes, but for me, the soft approach can be very helpful because number one, it throws them off.
Mm-hmm. Like what? What'd you say?
And quite frankly, if you're able to catch these kids in an environment or in a situation or in a space when they're not hackles up because they're literally worried about themselves, like in their safety, they always 9.9 times out of 10, understand whether or not someone is genuine.
Yeah.
And they're always, at the end of the day, looking for a real connection with a good adult.
Yeah.
Because they fundamentally understand that something's missing.
Yeah.
And in the event that you can cut through that shell and walk that fine line, there is room for growth.
Yeah. I've there have been a couple times I've been at the park and like one of the things me and my kids do in the summer is we'll go to the snack store, get some snacks, and then walk to the park and eat the snacks. And there have been times that I know that there are going to be some kids there that may not have eaten or don't get those types of goodies, and who will be watching.
Yeah, I just don't think that enough people really understand how much some of these kids are literally living Lord of the Flies.
Listen, last summer, there was a little boy. I'm telling you, he looked like he was about to pass out. And I had 2 water bottles, one for my kids and one for me. And I just saw him laying there. And we were there for maybe an hour. And he was just laying there. And I came up to him. I was like, you want some water? And he looked at me and he looked my heart broke. And I gave him my water bottle. He drank and I had a big water. He drank the entire thing. And I was like, do you want something to eat? Are you hungry? He was like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. And I just said, if you ever see me again, let me know if you need something. He was like, okay.
As I'm sorry. As the state debates whether or not we should give free lunches to all of our, okay. Just gonna put that out there.
I'm like, the other thing, if some of these kids is angry as hell.
As we potentially make it more difficult for kids to eat before they go to school.
You got half the time these kids are hungry as hell
and tired
and cold
and stressed out.
and their shoes are too small.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't got a jacket. Their hair itches because nobody got them shampoo, or they can't get in the shower because the water don't work.
I think fundamentally, as I'm thinking through it more,
some of his anger just from not being able to have stuff.
Well, I think fundamentally, you have to approach all of these kinds of situations with genuine love.
Yeah.
And love can be tough.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's not to say you have to be gentle all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to actually care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was Clifford Brown. There was a little boy who asked us for something. And I said, what were your grades or something like that? And he hesitated. Do you remember that?
The little boy who was like really personable.
Yes.
And was like trying to sell stuff, I think, too. He had some kind of business he was talking about. It wasn't like legit, but like he was trying to hustle something.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that kid. I remember his face distinctly. Yeah.
God.
It's hard out here for these kids.
It really is.
And that's the fundamental thing that I wanted to make sure that we communicated with that video. It was not to like
this ain't
shame
a world
anybody.
Star moment. This is we have a problem.
This is the main goal is to make more people aware of what is going on in the lives of our children that would make them behave in such a manner.
In a world where conservatives are trying to make empathy a problem, a weakness, trying to say that it's ending our world. Let us have empathy for these babies.
I saw last night, I watched this wonderful speech, and I should post it and send it to you, actually. He's a billionaire, and he was speaking at a college graduation, and he was basically saying how you can be a billionaire and stupid. And the way that he explained it was so wonderful. No. Well, he was referring to Elon.
Okay.
but he was basically saying that empathy and kindness are the higher level of humanity.
Okay.
It's when you're able to let go of fear and let go of that reptilian brain that makes you scared and reactive and be like, let me think through this process and be a little bit optimistic and hopeful and kind, because it's a higher level of thinking. And he put it in that context, and I found it to be brilliant. When you say that you shouldn't be empathetic, when you should just be mad, that's just like that tribal monkey brain, that instinct to just be scared and push people away and fight. You know what I'm saying? We can be better than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what chimpanzees do. We can think past that emotion and that fear and say, like, you know what? Let me try to be better. Let me think about how that person feels instead of just me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's higher level thinking. And I really appreciated what he said, and it's applicable to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to real world mess, because there is so much happening. Oh my God, so much. All right. Erykah Badu in the Erykah Badu fashion.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Let me find this. I think this was wonderful.
Performed a concert in a BBL blow up suit.
As well she should have.
It was as absurd as actual BBLs. I wish you had gotten a better picture of the angles, because
with the butt
was huge.
It was obscenely huge.
And of course, people are writing think pieces, and she has said nothing.
Which is even funnier, because you're spending all this time, and we're talking about it right now.
Yes.
But I love, go ahead, please.
All I'm gonna say is do what you want with your body. But if you're going to get a BBL, make sure that you clean yourself, because a lot of people don't realize that when you have extra wagging back there.
I mean, I got to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not done.
Yeah.
There's extra cleaning needed. So prepare your mind to clean the wagon.
I mean, I appreciate personal freedom. You know, it's your body, your choice. I get all that. But BBLs are not healthy.
No,
Like, they're a
the number.
dangerous
I think they're like
procedure.
the one of the top.
So I'm not going to
dangerous
say do what
procedures
you
in
want
the
with your body
world.
with that. Like, don't get that done. It's dangerous. Why would you put yourself at physical risk? Like, it can
And
literally
the
kill
funny
you.
part is,
It's stupid.
almost every celebrity that has gotten one has said that they regret it.
And so don't do that. Don't do it. Like, it's not
But
a
of
good
course,
idea.
they only say it after.
It looks weird. Number
After.
one, it feels weird. I'm sure I've never actually touched a BBL. I'm sure it feels weird. It looks absolutely bizarre, and it's dangerous. And I'm sure there are men who actually do. And you're not doing it for men. I understand it's not about you and your personal taste. But like, you're not even getting that out of it.
Listen,
like, there's too many risk factors or too many negatives. It doesn't add up, and it's expensive. Like, what are we doing here? And don't you have to get it like retouched and that kind of stuff?
From what I heard, I think you have to get maintenance.
Oh my gosh!
I did look into breast augmentation.
Listen,
because
man,
having babies.
Let me say,
but number one, I ain't got the money, and number two, they said I'm gonna have to go back in, years later to get some maintenance done. I said, oh no, I am not a Chevrolet. It's not gonna happen.
I can't stand Bill Maher, but the point that I'm making about this is, so there's somebody for everybody. Okay, so I lean J-Lo. Like, I like all that. Okay, but Bill Maher got on TV and made me mad, man. He was like, I don't understand why anyone want all that butt. Like, it's way too much butt. Like, oh my gosh. Meaning somebody likes it flat. And therefore, somebody's going to like you.
There's somebody for everybody.
There's somebody for everybody. And I've seen it many times. So, listen, I understand.
You're just not on the right app.
You just got to find the right person.
You might need to get on Christian Mingle.
Somebody likes your flat butt. Somebody likes your big, wide butt. Somebody likes something.
Somebody over in Taiwan
Yep.
might be for you.
Listen, some people love a whole lot of, I could say so many different things.
Don't risk your life for the booty.
Some people like them falling all over the place. Some people want them sitting up. Some people want them giant. Some people want them small and perky. Whatever you like. You know what I'm saying? There's something for everybody. And just be you authentically.
Love yourself.
Nothing is better than authenticity. Be out in these streets as your natural self and somebody will find you.
But if you decide.
Why you say but?
If you decide, take care of yourself.
Don't do that.
If you do it, take care of yourself. Because it's not hit it and quit it type thing. No, you need to take care of yourself.
I'm about to filibuster this whole conversation for the next half hour about why you should not.
I'm not letting you leave this set until you accept that people are going to get BBLs.
I will be holding the camera for the next half hour.
Back your light skin behind up. Listen, he was trying to put light skins on the map. Since he already
all he does is make us
up.
more annoying. Like, shut up.
I wonder why there weren't any jokes about the fact that a single light-skinned man held up
has to have all the attention
for 25 hours.
The light-skinned dude had to stand in front of everybody and talk all damn day and take all the attention. Don't he have light eyes too? Doesn't he have light eyes too? The light skin, like, just messing it up for everybody.
The Light Skin Coalition was behind the camera, holding tissues and throwing water at
This is why I said at the Dancing with the Stars, I don't identify as light skin. I can't stand these people.
I'm Cafe Olay.
Listen, I don't know what I am, but I am not that, because good God, talking for 24 hours.
25.
Exactly.
He broke the record.
I do wonder how he managed the bathroom.
So he fasted for 3 days, 2 to 3 days prior, and stopped drinking the night before.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Did he have water along the way to not get dehydrated? Because that's certainly a possibility.
There were glasses of water, but I don't know if he drank it during his time. But he did prepare this.
I mean, I respect the feat of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I could just start speaking for 24 hours and, like, hold that together.
Child, I can't. Wait a minute. So when we did Dancing with the Stars,
what did it do? What did he accomplish?
When we did Dancing with the Stars, how many hours was that? I was tired by the first 45 minutes.
Nah, F that. Nah, let me tell you how long she can actually talk for, because you had breaks in between. All we did was try to get out there, and what did you have to say? Friends. We had to go through a list that probably took a total of 3 minutes, and
No.
all I needed her to say was friends over and over again, maybe every 15 seconds, and she gasped. Looked at me
Listen.
like I got nothing left in the tank.
It's my pelvic floor. I'm working on it. My diaphragm and everything. Like, I'm working it out. We just talked about it. I'm working on it. Okay.
It's my pelvic floor.
It's my stamina is not there. I had a surgery. I'm recovering.
Your pelvic floor is looking at you like, really, sis? You gonna blame this on me? It's looking up literally like,
Listen.
like, really? This is my fault.
So
looking at your lungs like, you got nothing to say about that, huh?
a lot of people were like, why did he even do that? Why? Because we don't, as Democrats, have the majority anymore. And
So stand there and just talk for 25 hours. What's
because
gonna
it
happen
delays
next?
planning. It delays things. And we got to get creative.
What's the delay? Let's get it over with. Let's get it over with. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. Let's get it moving. Show me what I'm working with, please. Yeah, throw that punch so I can know what to punch back to. Delay it.
Oh my God.
I don't got time to waste.
Well, congratulations, Cory Booker, on your world record. Oh God. And flowers, I know this is late, but flowers to the family of Val Kilmer.
I'm kind of disappointed that you don't know who Val Kilmer is.
I know, I saw his picture.
Nah, but so number one, for anybody who saw Tombstone, he played one of the coldest characters in the history of cowboys. When he played Doc Holliday in that movie. No, he was so cool. When he said, when that man said, "I'll be your Huckleberry," that is like my go-to. Anytime like a friend is like, "Yo, we about to get in some mess, some trouble,"
Oh my
I'll be.
God.
My first thought is, "I'll be your Huckleberry." You know, and he's the coolest, and he was
if
like,
I ever thought you were old, this was the time.
He was the coolest cowboy that ever cowboyed. That role is so badass, and he was so cool. Plus, he was the Iceman in the original Top Gun. He's a bad dude, man. Like, he was super cool. That's fine, but for the old heads, you know what I'm talking about. I am not that old. I am not that old. Good God. Yo, Val Kilmer was cool. He played Jim Morrison in The Doors and looked just like him and behaving. He was one of the Batman, but his role as Doc Holliday was so badass. If I had a list,
I'm sure you do.
If somebody woke up and said, "Today, J Street, you can no longer be black and you can't be who you are. You got to pick a white boy," he is on my list of top 5, 100%. Val Kilmer is a cool ass white boy, 100%. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, condolences to his
He got
family.
really weird when he got old too, which is even funnier. He turned into a total weirdo.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to put this in here really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Things to think about if you are affected by the recent administration's firings or may be affected. Because there are a lot of people stressing out about money. They're stressing out about the economy. They're stressing out about food and, bills and mortgage. So I wanted to just throw some ideas out there for people who need to think outside of the box of ways to bring the bacon home. So, and me and Jay are artists, but we've also we're artists. And
that is the wrong term. Artists.
We're artists,
not artists. Artists is worse than Salmon. But go ahead.
Okay. So we have worked gigs, okay, to do what we got to do. So I want to give other people some ideas who may not think like us.
Script.
Freelancing or remote work. You can go on Google and type in remote jobs, and there's so many that come up. Be careful of scams.
Check what your mama gave you.
Online tutoring or coaching. A lot of people don't realize that sometimes you may be in a field where there are people coming in entry level who need that help. Like they had a trainer who was crap and they need help with Excel, or they need help with interviewing or anything like resume writing. That is a very valuable skill that you have that you can utilize, and you can do it via Zoom.
Start writing bars.
You can also sell unwanted items. There are a lot of thrift stores, consignment shops, pawn shops. You can also sign up for what's it called? Offer Up.
OnlyFans.
I mean, yes, you could. I wouldn't recommend it personally
You got a BBL.
it's against my morals. But yeah, sell things. You can flip things like furniture, old furniture. If you're pretty handy and you can, strip. Oh God. Take the paint
If you're
off
handy
of
and
furniture.
you can strip.
Oh my God. You can also do content creation via TikTok. Maybe you have a crazy skill that you can post videos about. People make really good money. Online marketing. You could help with a company's marketing, their blogs, their websites, if you have any ability with online stuff. And then also I wanted to give you ways to save money. So you can cut back on non-essential items. What is a non-essential item, Jay?
Something you don't need. What you mean?
What is a non-essential item that people could cut back on, that a lot of people spend money on?
Alcohol.
Okay. Going out to eat.
Dessert.
Buying new outfits for every single event. That's me.
Brew coffee at home.
Okay. Okay. Live below your means. So downsizing.
Thrifting.
Yes. Listen, y'all know I'm a big advocate for thrifting. Couponing. Do you use coupons?
Not really.
No. So sign up at your local grocery stores, every single one within your area that you have access to, that you go to. Sign up and they will send you coupons and give you discounts. Also, when you go to Walgreens or when you get the little what they call that thing where you get the paper delivered, but it's not the paper. But it's like coupons. It's a coupon book.
The flyer?
The flyers.
Yeah.
The weekly flyers.
Yeah.
There are so many deals. There's deals for fast food restaurants. There's deals for the grocery store, for furniture stores, for all kinds of stuff. Start clipping them and pay attention to the dates. Also, ShopRite has something called a can sale where you can buy cans for like 30 cents and buy them in bulk.
Yes, we can.
Just do not go during the day because the older folk go and they are very pushy. I was pushed by one because I did not move fast enough. So just go at a later time to be safe. Energy efficiency in your home. Keep your energy. Yeah, I know. It's hard. It's real hard.
Yeah, I'm a brat there. I'm a complete brat
I don't
there.
like to be cold. So I'm turning
you can
it up.
repossess my car before I turn down the air condition. You know what I'm saying?
But if you can stand it. Like this past winter, we bundled up at my house.
I can be cold, but when it gets hot, if you want to see me turn into a child,
Yeah.
because I'm on sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just get mad. So it's better for everybody that I turn the air up.
But you can unplug devices that you're not using. You can get energy efficient light bulbs. Those will all help with your energy bills. Use public resources. If you need, to use the internet, go to the library, free internet, sign up, take your laptop, use the Wi-Fi, things like that. Community centers, you can go look up free activities at your local museums, the libraries, community centers, other like different organizations within your city or town. They always have things for you and the family to do. Meal planning.
Okay.
You want to talk about that? We're working out?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay. Meal planning is another way, map it out for the week, Monday through Friday. Add in whatever you like, base it on what's in your fridge. That way you don't have to go shopping for extra stuff. So yeah, those are just a few tidbits that I wanted to put out there for people who might be struggling or worried so that you can start to think about what you could do if and when it happens. So outside of that, let's talk about what's happening around town.
Yeah, here's the first one.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
Don't rush me.
No, you good.
You rushed me. What is that? Okay. Oh, God. So this Friday is Art Loop. Women's art exhibition, 5 to 7, eyeshadow, female art show at the Christina Cultural Arts Center. And then we have Best Kept Soul at the Reef. Friday from 8 to 12. And I'm telling y'all, they're just
fun.
They're amazing. They're so much fun. But get your reservation because they book up quick.
Yeah, that bar is not huge either.
Yeah, no, that bar is.
I
They got two
mean,
sides.
well, so how do they?
So they have They have restaurant on both sides, like tables on both sides.
Y'all
but
should
the
still
middle,
get there like early.
You should
for
still
that.
get there early,
Yeah,
absolutely, because every time they sell out.
That's yeah.
Yeah. Designer. Wait, St. E alumni designer bag bingo. I need to go.
I was gonna say that seemed like something you would do.
I need to go do that. Sunday, April 6th at 1 p.m. St. Elizabeth Grant Hall. $40 per person, includes 18 bingo rounds. Doors open at 12. Now listen, I have been watching a girl who is in her 20s who goes to bingo halls, and she gives you the full rundown of what bingo games she buys and how she does it. And she preps. She's got snacks. She's got energy drinks.
No.
She's got her own little bingo stampers, and she make like $300, $400, $500 sometimes, maybe sometimes more.
I mean, I can't knock the hustle. You know what I mean? I couldn't do it, but I can't knock the hustle.
We need to go bingoing.
It would be a funny segment. Like I would do it just for the sake of a recorded segment. That would be fun.
And if you win, I get the bag. No, Lisa gets the bag. Okay, but still, we should go.
Yeah, I would do it.
Okay.
I would go and do that.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna be looking for a bingo.
Yeah.
So this Saturday at the Delaware Art Museum, live music brunch, Prodigal Notes featuring KJ McNeil, from 11 to 1. Let me tell you something. This man right here is a multi-instrumentalist. I met him when I sang in a wedding band that he was in for quite some time. He was the drummer and he sang at the same time.
That's one of the hardest things to do, that and bass.
And he sang Prince.
Okay.
Kiss.
That's
incredibly
high level.
While playing drums.
That's
he
high
also
level.
plays guitar. He also plays piano. And he just posted a video of him doing A Song for You by Donny Hathaway.
Oh,
it was great.
That's
I'm
heavy.
gonna send it to you because it's so good.
Nice.
He's phenomenal. So if you guys have the time and you want to listen to some amazing vocals, come out and see KJ McNeil.
Go ahead.
Unified.
Sorry, go ahead.
Unified Creative Exchange Night Market, empowered by her, April 4th. Experience 30 plus women-owned businesses, artists, and creatives. Join us for crafted cocktails and a night filled with creativity and great vibes.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Great vibes. And today is World Autism Awareness Day. And if you don't know, my son is autistic. And he is my superhero, and he's amazing and intelligent. He's an amazing artist, and he's doing so stinking well in school. They love him there. Like I think the twins in general are like super popular, but they love him so much. And if you don't know about autism, go look it up and educate yourself. So yeah.
Cool.
It's been a journey, and I'm proud of my son, and I'm proud of my family for learning. Because sometimes I think that is the one thing people don't feel supported.
Yeah. It's funny from my end. I mean, I don't work with it as intimately as you do, obviously. But I know your son well.
Yeah.
I get along with him well, and I've worked with autism from adults who have it. Is that proper to say have autism? I can say that.
Yes, people with autism.
People with autism, and certainly a lot of young people because of what I do. And I find that I almost feel like there's the only real change that I make when I'm interacting is I have to pay more attention. And that's basically it, because I know that things aren't going to go sort of normally in terms of maybe
the way you would expect.
The way that I would expect.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to be the same sort of behavior patterns that I'm used to.
Yeah.
But you just really pay attention and try to catch all the nuance and how you're being responded to.
Yeah.
And it's a non-issue as long as you're just paying attention.
Right.
You know, you just have to be like, okay, recognize that this is something different.
Right.
And lock in and pay attention.
Yes.
I don't
And
know.
don't be
Is that
afraid
fair
to
to
ask
say?
questions. Yes, pay
Yeah.
attention. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And as a parent who never dealt with autism, like really ever, to the parents who are just finding out, it's going to be okay. It's not something to be afraid of or ashamed of. Find your safe people, the people you can count on to hear you, to see you, to support you, and educate yourself. You have to educate yourself.
Yeah, I remember one time when I was at a school and I'm loud.
Yes,
If you
we
didn't
know.
know.
We know.
And I did something with percussion, and one kid did not like my volume.
No.
And the way that I was aggressive, and the child literally jumped out of their seat and sprinted out of the room. And that was extreme. But it was okay. That was it's not like something to be worried about. It's like,
Right.
okay, when that child comes back in the room, I gotta watch my tone.
Right.
But I still have to do other things with other kids. It's just I gotta make sure I don't do that too, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah. Love you, son.
Yeah, he's a great kid.
All right. What else do we got? Oh, here we
Where
go.
them fans at?
I wonder if they're gonna play
Where
that.
them fans at? That's all I want to hear.
Country line dancing.
Yeah.
Studio One at the Grand. $7 cashless entry.
That's not
7
bad.
to 10 p.m.
Not bad at all.
Cashless bar available.
Yeah.
And dance instruction and music by award-winning choreography Rob Holly.
Yeah.
You know, I think I have 1, 2, 3. I have like 5 pairs of cowboy boots.
Oh my gosh. That's absurd.
I might have 6.
Listen, done properly, it's a cool style if you don't overdo it. You know what I mean? And I support. Really, you know,
we should go.
I'm all for dancing, and as much as I'm not a dancer, I really fundamentally feel like it's one of the missing parts of our culture right now. Like, you know how I remember my grandma used to talk about, like, they used to swing dance. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And you know you know, if you Puerto Ricans
line
and
dancing
Cubans
has been holding it down recently.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. More of it, more of that, because
except for that Tamia dance. I don't.
But it's fun.
That
it's
one's not fun.
something, but I'm saying, like, generally, like, it's fun. It's something that most people can pick up, and it's a great way, like, that fundamental, like the you know, salsa.
Yeah,
it's a really great way to interact with the opposite gender in a healthy way.
Yeah.
That's not just, you know, I don't have the energy to start doing my bump and grind, but
way to learn about culture.
Yeah, and just something to do.
Yes.
It's good. Yeah, I'm not a dancer and I don't be out dancing, but, like, I support this.
I support it. I support it.
That's the bottom line.
I have a frog in my throat and it's driving me crazy. Okay. Saturday from 9:30 to 12:30, Northeast Rising Garden event. I love that. I need to get my garden together, child. This is horrible.
And I should say, you know, I've done some work with this organization with my big sis Tahira, and they're a great organization. They're doing a lot of good stuff. So, you know, it's something to support for sure.
Okay.
Is that it? Oh, no.
Okay, and then this is actually happening all over the country.
Yeah.
Hands Off Mass Mobilization, Saturday, April 5th. Ours is going to be in Newark. You can find this. There's a website for it at the bottom, handsoff2025.com, where you can find a location. The largest one will be, I'm assuming, in DC, but there is one in Media, there's one in Newark, and other locations. So I believe it starts at 1 or 1:30.
Okay.
So if you are interested in fighting for democracy, this is the march you would like to attend.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to go down that whole rabbit hole right now, but I'm really happy with what happened in Wisconsin, because that turd Elon Musk wasn't able to purchase the election. So, yeah.
I did say to Jay, we should have drove down there to get us $1 million check and then not voted.
Yeah, I mean, I can be bought. I got a mortgage and private school.
Do you know what I would do with $1 million?
Listen, if you give me $1 million, I'll take down every negative post I've said about.
How did he know they voted for him?
He doesn't.
That's what I'm saying. So we could have drove up there and would have been pulled up. Nas and Jay in the house. We gonna vote.
Listen,
Walked away with our giant $1 million check.
things were going in the wrong direction either way, and this is just a faster.
What would be the first thing you bought with your $1 million?
Paying off the house. That's it. Paying off the house.
We would stop and get lobster. Get the check. Stop over at
We get a bushel of crabs
Seaport.
and some shrimp.
We have another crab bowl, baby. Okay, with the corn on the cob. Bring me the farm. I want the ocean.
Yeah.
Man, I wonder if they cashed their checks yet.
And how much of that gets taxed? I also want to know.
Is that taxable?
I don't know. I'm curious. You know
what
I'm
if they were fake? What if he didn't
I don't
actually
think
give
he-
him a real check?
I mean, it's possible. I don't. It's
What
possible.
if you go to cash in it and it's a bounce check? You bounce for $1 million.
and you can't even find that dude. You know what I'm saying? You beat.
We got at least another 5 business days before we find out if that money actually went through, unless they were plants.
Anything is possible with those.
And
guys.
with this
anything is possible.
administration,
And it's not, but just
anything.
politicians in general. We're not even gonna blame the administration because politicians, we know. We know it's not just listen. I can't stand this administration, but it's not just Republicans. Keep it a bean.
This is exhausting. All right, what's happening?
Yeah.
Town hall meeting next Tuesday, April 8th, or not? No, Tuesday, April 8th, not next Tuesday. 6:30 to 8 p.m. Claymore Senior Center. Topic of discussion: a conversation with Mayor John Carney to learn about his budget priorities and plans for Wilmington.
It's a good thing. You should go.
Yes,
Show up.
definitely. If you have questions, show up and ask specific questions that he can't answer broadly.
Mm-hmm.
Get some real answers. And also, before you go, look up the budget. Look up the things that you're trying to inquire about, so you have the actual factuals versus just walking in there blindly and saying, well, I heard this, and that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe talk to your council member first, your council person first, and then go to the town hall. But go educated. Don't go in blind. And last but not least, the Bridge Art Gallery presents
The bridge.
Fiber Secrets, the art of Maurice Evans. Friday, April 4th from 5 to 8 p.m. And he will actually be here.
That's dope.
To talk about his art.
Mm-hmm.
And Art Loop is going to be, all over the city. I think I'm going to stop by there, of course. And then also the Chris White Gallery, because there's some artists there that I know who will be presenting their art. So that's what's happening around town. We love y'all for watching us every week, even when we a mess. And we love y'all.
We've been cool the past few weeks, but yeah, we will see you.
And I just want to say, real quick, I'm going to end on this. Jay had referred to people in survival as evolving from the angry monkeys, and I am not from an angry monkey. I would like to think that I evolved from an octopus. Because they're very intelligent.
I evolved from a motorcycle, so yeah.
So you have no brain?
No, just all vroom vroom. We're just sitting there.
In the show.
Warmest regards.
Have a great week.